Hi everyone, and welcome back to IELTS time. Today we're talking about public places. From parks and cafes to train stations and shopping centres, these are the everyday spaces where our lives unfold. In this lesson, we're going to look at two different but equally natural ways to respond to common questions on this topic. First, we'll hear from Ben, who keeps things steady and to the point. Then we'll listen to Blondie, who brings a bit more personality and colour into her responses. As always, pay attention to which style feels more like you. Let's start with Ben.
How often do you go to public places?
I go to public places almost every day, to be honest. Even if I don't have specific plans, I usually step out for a walk, grab a coffee, or run errands. I don't like staying indoors for too long because I start to feel a bit restless.
What public places do you usually visit in your area?
I mostly go to the local park, a shopping mall nearby, and a couple of cafes in my neighborhood. There's also a public library that I visit occasionally when I need a quiet place to focus.
What are the busiest public places where you live?
The shopping mall is definitely the busiest, especially on weekends. The Central Park also gets quite crowded in the evenings, particularly when the weather is nice. People go there to exercise, walk their dogs, or just hang out.
Do you often go to public places with your friends?
Yes, quite often. We usually meet at cafes or restaurants, and sometimes we go to the park to play football or just sit and talk. It's more enjoyable being out when you're with friends rather than alone.
Have you ever talked with someone you don't know in a public place?
Yeah, it's happened a few times. Usually it's something casual, like asking for directions or making a comment about something happening around us. Once I had a long conversation with a stranger at a cafe because we were both reading the same book, which was pretty interesting.
Do you wear headphones in public places? Why or why not?
Yes, almost all the time. I usually listen to music or podcasts when I'm commuting or walking alone. It helps me relax and block out background noise, especially in crowded places.
Would you like to see more public places near where you live?
Definitely. I think more green spaces or sports facilities would be great. Right now, most of the public spots are commercial, like malls or restaurants. It would be nice to have more open, free spaces where people can just hang out without spending money.
Do you prefer indoor or outdoor public places? Why?
I prefer outdoor places, especially parks or open areas. Being outside helps me clear my mind and feel more refreshed. Indoor places are convenient, but sometimes they feel a bit crowded or stuffy.
Are public places in your city clean and well maintained?
For the most part, yes. The main areas are generally clean because the local authorities take good care of them. However, some smaller parks and streets could definitely use better maintenance.
Is there a public place in your area that you particularly like? Why?
Yes, there's a park about 10 minutes from my house that I really like. It's not too crowded, and it has a nice walking track and plenty of trees. I usually go there when I need to clear my head or just take a break from studying or work.
That was Ben. What stands out is how calm and grounded he sounds. His answers are clear, realistic, and well-balanced. He adds just enough detail to make his responses feel complete, without over-explaining. His vocabulary is natural and practical, which makes his speaking style feel steady and easy to follow. If you prefer being structured and straightforward, this approach might suit you well. Now let's switch the energy and see how Blondie handles the same questions. How often do you go to public places?
Gosh, pretty much every day, I'd say. I mean, between commuting to work and just popping out to grab a coffee, I'm constantly out and about. I'm not really a homebody, so I spend a fair chunk of my time in public spaces.
What public places do you usually visit in your area?
Usually just the local park near my flat. I try to get some steps in when I can, and maybe the library. To be honest, I mostly go to the library when the Wi-Fi at home starts acting up, and I need to actually get some work done.
What are the busiest public places where you live?
Oh, the main train station, definitely. It's an absolute nightmare during rush hour. Just total wall-to-wall people. This central shopping mall gets pretty packed on the weekends too, which is why I usually try to avoid it if I can.
Do you often go to public places with your friends?
Yeah, all the time. We usually end up at a park if the weather's decent, or we'll just hang out at a cafe for hours on end. It's just nicer to be out in the world when you're catching up, you know?
Have you ever talked with someone you don't know in a public place?
Not often, no. I'm a bit of an introvert, really. But I did have a random chat with a lady at a bus stop the other day. We were both just complaining about how late the bus was. It was a brief misery loves company kind of moment.
Do you wear headphones in public places? Why or why not?
Actually, not really, no. I know I'm probably in the minority there, but I'm a bit of a stickler for being hyper-aware of my surroundings. I honestly feel a bit vulnerable if I can't hear what's going on around me, like traffic or just people walking nearby. Plus, I actually quite enjoy the ambient noise of the city. It makes me feel a bit more plugged into the world rather than totally cut off from it, you know.
Would you like to see more public places near where you live?
I mean, it wouldn't hurt. My neighbourhood is getting pretty built up with apartment blocks, so a few more green lungs, or even just a little pedestrian plaza would be a massive win for the community.
Do you prefer indoor or outdoor public places? Why?
Outdoor, hands down. Assuming it's not pouring rain, of course. I just like the vibe of being outside, more than being stuck in a stuffy mall with artificial lights. It feels a lot more refreshing.
Are public places in your city clean and well maintained?
It's a bit of a mixed bag, to be honest. The city centre is usually spotless because of the tourists, but some of the parks further out can look a bit, well, neglected. They definitely need a bit of TLC from the council.
Is there a public place in your area that you particularly like? Why?
There's this little riverside spot with some old wooden benches. It's super chill, and for some reason it's never really crowded. It's my go-to place when I just need to decompress and get away from the screen for a bit.
Very different vibe. Blondie's style is much more expressive and conversational. She reacts in the moment, adds little personal touches, and uses more colourful language to bring her answers to life. Everything feels vivid and full of personality, but still clear and easy to follow. If you're someone who naturally speaks with energy and emotion, this approach might feel a lot more comfortable for you. So we've looked at two different approaches to the same questions. Let's finish by focusing on some useful words and phrases you can use when talking about public places. Let's start with some everyday action phrases you can use when talking about public places. Instead of saying go outside, you could say step out for a walk. Instead of spend time with friends, say hang out. If you're going somewhere for a short, casual reason, grab a coffee sounds much more natural than buy a coffee. And phrases like run errands or commute help you describe how public places fit into your everyday life. These are simple expressions, but they instantly make your answers sound more fluent and natural. Now let's look at how to describe busy places. Instead of repeating very crowded, you can vary your language. Packed and buzzing suggest energy. Swarming with people or wall-to-wall people create a strong visual image. If you want something slightly less dramatic, lively is a great option because it has a positive feeling. Choosing the right word allows you to convey the atmosphere of a place, rather than simply stating how busy it is. When you talk about public places, it's important to describe how they feel. Words like peaceful or vibrant describe mood. Hectic works well for busy stations or city centres. If you're indoors and uncomfortable, you might say it feels stuffy. To talk about condition, you can say a place is well maintained or, on the negative side, rundown or neglected. These adjectives add depth to even short answers. Finally, here are some natural opinion phrases. Saying I'm not really a homebody sounds much more conversational than I don't like staying at home. It's a mixed bag is useful when your opinion isn't completely positive or negative. Hands down adds emphasis when you strongly prefer something, and phrases like my go-to spot, clear my head, or block out background noise help you describe personal habits in a relaxed, authentic way. Alright, that's all for today. If you'd like more in-depth speaking practice, you can join the channel membership for exclusive videos. I'll see you in the next lesson.